my name is Tawny, and I write the Tawny blog on WordPress. Welcome to my first official audio blog. I hope you like it. Today I want to talk about the true power of our imagination. I hope this information might get you to thinking about what could be possible in your life if you can just picture it. After talking to a client a couple weeks ago, it dawned on me just how much time and energy we spend thinking about or imagining our worst case scenarios. We think about our limitations, our less than helpful personality characteristics, and our past negative circumstances a lot. We can imagine these easier because we live them already. But what if we spend some effort imagining what the best case scenario would be instead? What if we imagined ourselves possessing characteristics that helped us better navigate our lives? Let me talk a minute about what happens in our brains and bodies when all of this imagining is taking place. The newest body of neuroscience research tells us very clearly that our brains cannot tell the difference between what we imagine and what is real. Yep, you heard me right. What this means is that those little movies playing in your mind are perceived as reality by your brain. The brain is responsible for sending signals to the body, so when we're imagining or replaying past bad memories or imagining our worst case scenario projected into the future, the brain sends signals to the body that those negative events are happening now. So your hormones are being released, your blood is pumping faster, your heart is working harder, your breathing is more rapid and shallow. All of this from your imagination. What if you can't imagine your best case scenario because it seems so out of reach? That was the case with me about standing, walking, driving, and running after my illness progressed rapidly to me being in a wheelchair. I couldn't have imagined doing these things again because the doctor said I wouldn't be able to. I had recurring dreams for years before walking again, and months before driving, and months again before running. It hadn't occurred to me before these dreams that it was even possible. Did having these images in my dreaming state contribute to me being able to do those things again? I don't think we could possibly know for certain, but the research would certainly suggest it likely helped. So how can you use this imagination to your advantage in your life now? Let's do a quick activity to get you thinking more about imagining your evolved self and your best case scenario. Once you can see yourself as this, then you can begin to imagine the steps to get there. Think about the characteristics you want to have as the next best version of yourself and imagine what those look like. What does a person with these characteristics do in a social setting? At a party? With the checkout clerk at the grocery store? How do they treat their significant other? How do they behave in rush hour traffic? What clothes do they like to wear? How do they feel about themselves? What type of people do they surround themselves with? What characteristics do they have, leaving them feeling love, happiness, and security? What does this person do for work? What do they do to contribute to their community? How does this person handle stress? How does this person respond to your worst case scenario? Do you have an image? You can play around with it a little bit, tweak it until you see this image as uniquely you. Now imagine this new, evolved you in your best case scenario. It may help to think of the best case scenario as the opposite of your worst case scenario at first until you can work on developing your own dream or image of what is possible. That's not so easy to do. Play around with this for a while, add to it, and see if you can spend a little more time on your best case scenario than your worst case scenario. If you can tip the scales just a little bit to be thinking about the positive things rather than the negative things, then those images in your mind will be just a little bit more positive and a little bit less negative. Your body will thank you, and you'll be well on your way to being that evolved person and to realizing your best case scenario. Thank you so much for listening. I would love to hear about your best case scenarios in the comments, and of course I'd love to hear your comments about how the audio blog worked for you. And that's all for now. Thanks, y'all. Bye now.